Hello everyone, welcome back to another Project Gladiator weather forecast. Today I'm going to be covering the weather for November 16th of 2023, and currently we have a marginal threat for the eastern coast of Florida, just to the north of Miami. As for threats for today, we do have a 2% tornado threat and a 5% wind threat, but we don't really have all that much of a hail threat. The primary thing that I'm going to be focusing on today is going to be that 2% tornado threat, though. Taking a look at our future forecasts that are currently issued, we don't have any forecasted areas for organized severe thunderstorms, but we could have some general thunderstorms and some rain showers for some areas in the United States by tomorrow. But now let's take a look at our day 3 outlook. You can see currently no forecasted areas for organized severe thunderstorms, but again, we could possibly see some general thunderstorms and some rain showers in the green areas. And then let's take a look at some of the weather that's going to be coming up potentially next week and on Sunday. This is our day 4 outlook here. We currently have a 15% that is currently issued for our day 4 outlook, which I do believe is Sunday. Again, we are expected to have the threat for some severe thunderstorms in the Central Plains on Sunday, and we also have a day 5 outlook that's currently issued for some thunderstorms on our day 5 outlook. 15% is currently issued for Louisiana, southern Mississippi into southwestern Alabama. Something that I do like to note about these day 4 to day 8 outlooks is that if an area is currently forecasted and it's so predictable that the SPC can predict it this far out, then there is a chance that it could potentially be a significant severe thunderstorm threat by the time this does roll around. So I do suggest you watch for updates on this developing situation, as some of the severe thunderstorms that we could see on Sunday and Monday could possibly be significant. Taking a look at our WBC outlook, starting off with our excessive rainfall outlooks. Currently for today, we do have a slight risk for the eastern coast of Florida for flash flooding. And then for our future forecast for day 2 until day 4, we currently don't have any forecasted areas for flash flooding. However, on our day 5 outlook, we do have a marginal threat that is currently issued for the Dixie states. Something that I do want to note is that this isn't entirely set in stone. These outlooks are definitely bound to change between now and then. So if you are concerned about the flash flooding threat that is coming up, then I suggest you watch for updates. And then let's take a look at our winter weather outlook. Again, these aren't set in stone either, and they are subject to change over time. And as for today, we currently don't have any forecasted areas for heavy snow. But then let's take a look at our surface analysis really quickly, just so we can get an idea of what's going on the ground as far as severe thunderstorms. And we have that trough that's been kind of riding around the Gulf of Mexico for the last couple days. It is kind of translating from one low pressure system over to another. It's kind of just transferring its energy into that one, and this one should race off into the Atlantic Ocean. It was potentially forecasted to develop into a tropical system. However, that potential was very low yesterday, and that has been dropped even further to a 0% chance. So we aren't expected to see any tropical development out of this as it moves into the Atlantic Ocean. But then you can see that warm front that is attached to that low pressure system. As that circles back around, that is going to fire off our severe thunderstorms on eastern Florida. Taking a look at our weather model, starting off with our 500 millibars like we usually do, focusing on the low pressure system that is going to be supporting our threat for severe thunderstorms for today. Again, you can see it here, and you can see the much larger trough around that. And overall, this trough is fairly weak, with only mid-level flats getting into the 30s. However, 30 miles per hour. But if we follow our ISO bars here, you can see that there is a little bit of veering in the winds. So that is going to be giving us our directional shear to support the threat for one or two brief tornadoes across this area. However, due to the overall low strength of this trough and the very low end veering of the winds in this trough, that's going to be giving us a very small amount of directional shear, but it should definitely be enough to support a one or two brief tornadoes for that area. But overall, the threat for tornadoes is going to be fairly low. Now let's take a look at our composite reflectivity so we can get an idea of the when and where we are expected to see our severe thunderstorms for today. So outside of our threat for severe thunderstorms, we currently have quite a bit of rainfall ongoing for Florida. This is circling back around that low pressure system that is off the coast of Florida, and again leading to quite a bit of rain for Florida. And our severe thunderstorms, though, are expected to kind of develop fairly late in the evening, though. Our severe thunderstorms are expected to begin developing anywhere from 8 p.m. to possibly lasting until 2 a.m. to 1 a.m. So our severe thunderstorms are going to have quite a bit of a wide window to develop, and I don't think any severe thunderstorms are currently ongoing. But again, they should be developing fairly late tonight. Taking a look at our dew points, focusing on the marginal threat area, because it is Florida, we are expected to see quite a bit of moisture in the atmosphere for this area, and that's going to be getting dew points into the low to possibly the mid 70s, which is quite high. So we are expected to see quite a bit of ample instability across this area. Now let's take a look at our temperatures. You can see that our temperatures for the marginal threat area are going to be in the 70s as well. They are going to be maybe a couple of degrees higher, but overall our dew points and our temperatures are going to be fairly similar. And please correct me if I am wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the more your dew point and temperature values correlate to each other, as long as you have heat and not a bunch of chilly temperatures, as long as it's hot and your dew points and temperature values correlate to one another fairly closely, that is going to give our instability a little bit of a boost, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so please correct me in the comments if I am wrong. Now let's take a look at some of our more widespread temperatures, primarily this cold front that we are expected to see impact the United States this week. It is continuing to progress over the course of a night, getting into the Midwest and the Central Plains by 9 a.m. Tomorrow. And that is going to be giving us quite a bit of fairly frigid temperatures back behind that cold front for North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Montana, Wyoming, and the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. That is going to be getting temperatures below freezing at night. So that's something to be watching out for, are going to be the very frigid temperatures back behind that cold front tonight. Taking a look at our instability, focusing on the marginal threat area, you can see those dew points and those temperatures did do quite a lot. We are expected to see some fairly moderate instability, but it is going to be quite enough to fuel our threat for severe thunderstorms for today. We are expected to see instability or K values that are going to be getting into the mid to possibly the upper 1000s, possibly getting into the 2000s offshore. And again, that's going to be enough to fuel our threat for severe thunderstorms for today, and our threat for damaging winds, and the threat for one or two brief tornadoes here. Taking a look at our energy helicity index models, this does combine our instability and our directional shear to give us the best idea of our tornado threat. And you can see again for our 2% tornado threat, we are expected to have some fairly weak and some fairly spotty energy helicity index values, with at sometimes more towards the north, where we could see a little bit more higher energy helicity index values. These are going to be fairly low, but it is going to be enough to support and indicate a 2% tornado threat. So we are expected to see one or two brief tornadoes supported by our energy helicity index models for the marginal threat area. Now that I've told you the weather, please go down to the description and check out the socials for Project Gladiator, and join the Discord for any updates on Project Gladiator. And if you notice anything might have been wrong with this forecast, or you would like to make a suggestion or ask a question, please leave a comment. Two other channels that I highly suggest you check out, and the links to their channels will be in the description, are One Nation Weather and Weather Watcher. They are amazing at what they do, and hopefully I should be able to see you guys on Sunday with a weekly overlook.